Hey folks, it's Chad here, Airstream in Greensboro. Behind me I have the all-new 2024 Flying Cloud 30R bed Q, so queen bed. And today I want to answer a question. Is this going to be the ultimate full-time Airstream that's on the market right now? Now there are three versions of this. You've got the 30RB Flying Cloud, the 30RB International, and then the 30RB Classic. Now those are basically the same floor plan, just different appointments on the inside. Now the 30RB Globetrotter is a completely different floor plan, so you want to look at that one. It's going to be completely different, but this one you can actually compare it to the 30 International and the 30 Classic and get an idea of what they're going to be like. So let's jump into a walk around of the top, the bottom, the outside, the inside now. Okay, I know everybody just likes me to go straight inside, and that's what I'm going to do. Did want to give you a good shot of the outside as we look at this 30 foot. So this is going to be one of the longer floor plans. It's the longest Flying Cloud floor plan that you get. The only longer is going to be the 33 foot Classic. So this is the longest Flying Cloud that you can buy that isn't a bunk bed model. So walking inside, it is the root bed, so the bed is going to be tucked back there in the back. I want to swing around to try to give you a good shot of this living area that you're going to get with the Flying Cloud. So you get a really nice sofa that goes across the front. You're going to have a separate dinette, unlike the 27 and 25. Now 27 foot is the #1 seller, so it's very popular. And a question that you've got to ask when you're looking at a 30, besides the fact that this is actually 30 foot 11 inches, so it's almost 31 foot, basically 31 foot, is this sofa important for you to have? And the difference with it and what makes it unique is that with this particular floor plan, if I sit down here, I'm looking into the coach as opposed to looking out the windows. The TV is going to be right there, so I can actually see the TV when I'm sitting here on the sofa. And you've got this nice little lounge area here, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. The 30 is really nice because, let's see if I can get the camera working right. You can actually kind of lounge here. Now you could turn the whole thing into a lounge by extending the bed out and then, you know, make it into a bed, and you've got kind of a large laying area. But with this current setup, you know, there's plenty of room to put your feet out, and you've got extra storage underneath here. And that's one of the things that makes the 30 such a unique floor plan. Now the 28RB Flying Cloud, which I do have a video of, and I'll link that below so you can kind of take a look at it, as well as the International 30 if I have that, and the Classic 30 as well. I think I have a 2023 version of that. Very similar floor plans. They're basically the same. It's just things like Corian countertop in the International, powered awning, and then the Classic has, you know, way more appointments in that case. But with this 30, you are going to have, especially on the Flying Cloud, so much storage. I'm going to jump in here in the video because I did forget to demonstrate how this section turns into a bed and the dinette turns into a bed. I like to always give you at least a demonstration of it so you can kind of see what it looks like. Remember, I am a larger, fluffier guy, so hopefully that kind of helps you understand there is a lot of room in an Airstream, even though you may think that there's not. It's always funny to hear people talk about how small Airstreams are, but to me they feel adequate. I mean, sometimes big. Like in our Flying Cloud, honestly, we're still trying to figure out how to use all the space that we have. So this section here will extend out. There's a little shelf that comes out, and then I like to pull the larger ones out, let them hang over so that they've got some weight to them. And then your back pillow rests are going to be what plug in to this spot and then here. So now you've got a fairly large bed right here to be able to sleep, you know, a few people. So I would think, let's see, you know, 2 adults cozy. I learned that the word cozy means small. So this would be 2 adults cozy, but definitely 2 kids could easily sleep here. And then the other thing, if you're watching TV at night, you know, you've got a spot here. You can kind of make this into a lounge to an extent. I'm falling in between cushions now, but you could theoretically make this kind of into a lounge. Now to put it away, it's going to be fairly simple in the sense that we're just going to pull the small cushions back up, push the big ones back, put that back in place, and then pop that there, pop that there, and then you put your small one, your kind of little corner piece in right there, and that gets the sofa back into the sofa position. Footprint right there. You take the footprints off. Let me move the camera around just so we can see the dinette. There's the dinette. Now this is actually, of all the dinette options that Airstream has, this one's the easier one because this table actually fits in between the two cushions. And we'll come right down like that. On the 27 foot and the 25 foot, the table actually doesn't fit between the two cushions. So you got to kind of maneuver the cushions. Then these are going to come off, go right here in the middle. So, and then now you've got your other sleeping area, which is the dinette. I think this is 76 inches. So I'm like 5'9", 5'10", probably with shoes on. So you got plenty of length. And again, you could easily sleep 2 kids here, and then, you know, 2 adults, but it's gonna be tight and cozy. So if you have 4 adults, like you're entertaining, you have people coming with you, you got 2 in the bedroom area on that bed, and you could do 1 adult here, 1 adult there. Or if they are smaller and they really like each other, then you could do the 2 adults on the sofa. So that's kind of how, you know, your sofa and dinette come down and make into a bed. And then to put this back, this is actually the easiest one to do. So generally, I'm not a fan of doing the dinette because the dinette generally takes more effort, but this one is just so stinking easy because the table actually fits into the sofa. Now, I actually would love to have this size table in my Flying Cloud, because my Flying Cloud, the table is a little bit thicker, and for my size frame, it feels small to me. I think I'm going to try to cut mine down and make it more like this. And of course we have the separate dinette. Now, something I do want to mention, the 30-foot Flying Cloud is going to have the dinette on the roadside, as we call it. So your windows are going to be facing out that way. If you're in a traditional campsite, that means that potentially it's going to be overlooking the neighbor's campsite, or it's going to be overlooking where all your hookups are. Now, if you're boondocking and you're out in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't matter because you're just going to be seeing nature out those windows. But if you're in a traditional campsite, that's something you might want to consider. The 28 RB is going to give you a similar sofa that we have to here, so it's going to be very similar to this, but then your dinette, it's going to actually swap. It's going to move to this side, the kitchen will be over there, and then you're going to have your 2 large windows right here over your campsite side. So I really do like the floor plan of the 28 layout as far as where the dinette is better than the 30. I don't fully understand why Airstream doesn't just kind of copy the 28 RB and in the 30 floor plan and just make it bigger, similar to how they do the 25 and 27. 25 and 27 is basically the same floor plan, just a little bit bigger when you go to the 27. I would actually like to see them do that with the 30. I think that would make more sense, dinette on this side. So that's something to take into consideration when you are shopping for the 30, and you know, where do you want your windows to be. In the 30 RB Globetrotter, the windows are on that side as well. So all of the 30 RBs, the windows are going to be on that side. Now, on the Flying Cloud, let me mention, AC is currently running, so you may hear that in my mic. It's not very loud. I can talk over it super easy because this does have Airstream's Quiet Stream technology, which just basically means it's a ducted AC. So you're ducted both at the return, and then your outlets are also ducted. And then something else that makes this unique, it's hard to see from down here, but the AC is not directly over this vent. It's actually going to be pushed either forward or it will be pushed back a little bit, and that allows them to kind of go up in the intake, go back, and then back up a little bit. Basically, the more turns you can put in air's movement, the quieter the air moves. Okay, now getting back to what I was originally going to talk about before I started talking about AC. So you do have a lot of storage here, so like huge lockers, as they call them. So we got lockers here at the front. Of course, you've got your power station right there. That's going to have the antenna power button is right there. And then you've got Cat 6, which goes to the outside, and I'll show you where that's at outside in a second. HDMI, which connects to your TVs. This USB right here is going to connect to your radio. And then you do have an inverted circuit right there if you have anything you need to plug in and be able to use off grid. Now, the thing that logically I think would go here would be like a Roku or Apple TV. But they do have smart TVs now, so you may not even need that anymore. And then we've got our JL Audio radio right here. And I will say, this is one of the best sounding radios I've heard in an Airstream. My only negative to this setup is where the speaker placement actually is, which is underneath here. So it's going to be firing straight down onto whoever's sitting right there. And then same thing with this location here. Now on some of your floor plans like the Globetrotter, the speakers are going to be mounted right here, and this is where they should be. They should either be mounted here or they should be mounted up in the ceiling so that the speakers can be kind of out more, which is the way the bunk model is. The speakers are actually kind of out in here. There's two out here. I like that better. So that's something I wish Airstream would actually change that, because that's just not a great placement for those speakers. So JL Audio does sound really good. You have a subwoofer underneath here. So I want to point out these lockers. So we've got these lockers. Of course, they come with the soft close. And remember, I do have ADD, so I do the best I can with these videos. So we've got two large lockers over top of the dinette, and then you're going to have two more large lockers over the kitchen area. So that's my water there, over the kitchen area. So I mean, just above, there's a ton of storage, and I haven't even went down yet. So to start going down behind the really cool sofa across the front, you're going to have fairly deep storage here, perfect for your blankets and your pillows, to hide out in that area. You need somewhere to put blankets. There's also going to be a little storage area right here, which would be the shoe closet. And then underneath, we're going to have storage right there. So the 3 containers that do come with the Flying Cloud. Remember, those would be the most expensive containers you ever purchase. And let me put this one, put this one down. So then you're going to have additional storage there. And with this being the 30, there is some outside storage right here in this little corner that you also get, as well as what's behind on the back side under the bed. And then we're going to have storage under the dinette. It goes all the way across. I mean, that's huge. Let's see if I can get the camera to show it. Yeah, that goes all the way across. There's a subwoofer. And then we'll have more storage under here. Now this is split a little bit. There's some components on that side of the dinette, and then this side of the dinette is available for storage. And then as we swing around to the kitchen, we're going to have this little drop down. We're going to have a full pull out there, a full pull out here with your silverware organizer, and then we've got our optional convection microwave. So this would be a microwave and a convection oven. And if you choose to not get this, you'll have a regular microwave here and an oven right there where these drawers are. So those drawers will get deleted and you'll have the oven. I highly recommend doing the convection because you get the extra storage, and then most people don't use their ovens anyway, so you have the oven built into the microwave. And it is a little bit larger than your standard microwave that you get in a lot of RVs. And then we got another pull out there, and then of course we've got more storage under the sink, storage underneath right there. We've got the trash can. Of course, it's the most expensive trash can you'll ever buy for an Airstream, or yeah, Airstream. So then we also, on the 30, we're going to have a pantry, and that is one of the big positives, I think, to the 30 over the 28 RB, and that is you actually get a pantry. On the 28, there's no pantry. You don't get a pantry at all, and that is just, I don't understand that floor plan. I don't understand how, let me close that, understand how Airstream hasn't figured out to put a pantry in the 28 foot, but it doesn't have one, and I have not heard any news about them putting one in. But we get this pantry in the 30 foot, which I think is essential if you're thinking full-time. If you're thinking of full-timer, you gotta have, or extended, you've got to have a good pantry. So we got this pantry with the adjustable shelves. We also got a little bit of storage right there, your cereal box storage. But just look at all of the storage just in the front. We haven't even went to the back yet. All of those lockers, and then you've got all of the storage in your drawers. You know, people say Airstreams don't have enough storage. I don't know, what are you taking with you on your camping trips? All the storage under the front dinette, which could also be a bunch of batteries if you want to do a kind of off-grid power system. That's a great spot to put that. And then both of those dinettes have storage on them. I mean, just a massive amount of storage in this coach. So that's just something, you know, something to think about. You're gonna have a lot of storage, especially if you really want the sofa across the front, because your options are really only gonna be the 30 RB and the 28 RB, and the 30, as I said, you're gonna get the dinette. Now, shutting some compartments here. All right, now we are gonna have the Furrion 3-burner stovetop, so propane driven. Does have the little lights that you can turn on right there. And of course, you've got your starter right here, and then your 3-burner valves there. Of course, you always want to make sure they're in the off position before you start going down the road. And it's never good to travel with your propane on anyway. And nowadays, with having the 12-volt refrigerator, which is behind me, there's really no reason to turn those types of things, or have the propane on. Sorry, my phone is going off like crazy. And we've got the convection microwave. Let me open this. So you got, you know, the little rack. All that's going to be for the convection part of it, and then there's a plate that rotates for the microwave as well. And then on this section here, we're going to have our sea level 2 monitor system with the water pump connection, or on-off switch there, power right there. We've got our 2,000 watt inverter that comes standard now in the Flying Cloud. It's on and off switches right there. And then the optional solar controllers here. So the solar package is going to be optional. You basically have 3 options when you're looking for solar on an Airstream. The first option is going to be no solar, but pre-wired for solar. And I'll have the 3. My hair is crazy today. Sorry about that. Has the little 3 ports to plug in 3 solar panels, and that will be ran down so the wiring's everywhere you need it to be able to put your own solar system in. The other option is solar only. So in that case, you're going to have 300 watts, be 3 100 watt Marlin solar panels. They are military grade. They're also ran, I think it's series, I always forget this, but that basically, the way they're set up, if you have partial coverage on one panel, it's not going to diminish the other 2. It's also not going to diminish the production of the one panel that may be partially covered. Most of your older ZAMP panels, which is part of why Airstream's not using ZAMP anymore, if you had partially covered, but whether it's shade or dirt or something like that, the whole rest of the solar panel didn't produce even at its remotely close to its capacity of what it should be able to. So you needed to make sure you kept those clean, and you kept those in good sunlight. With these new Marlin panels, if I think I'm saying that right, that's how I've been saying it for 2 years now, so hopefully I'm saying it right. Those will produce even when I'm actually right under the AC, so you can hear. That was a little noisy. You actually hear the AC running. But if you, with these, if it's a little bit partially covered, you're still going to have good production from the part of the solar panel that's not being covered. So that's why that's important and why I like to talk about it. Now, the other option you have, so remember, the first one is no solar but pre-wired. Second is just solar, 300 watts. The third is new for 2024, and that is going to be solar plus 2 Battle-Born lithium batteries, 100 amp hours each. You have a total of 200 amp hours of battery. You're also going to have a smart shunt installed from the factory as well. So you have all that in place. They are the heated batteries because they're going to be outside, and there's a switch to be able to turn those batteries on and off. So that would be the third option. I think the battery and solar is like $5,100 is the MSRP option. And then solar only, I think, is around $2,700. You can check all that out on Airstream's website. Now, something I get hit a lot with, I don't ever tell pricing. So as I kind of just started talking about option pricing, I don't talk about pricing in these videos because Airstream has something called MAP pricing, which just stands for minimum advertised pricing. Any current model year, the dealer is not allowed to promote or advertise that price lower the MSRP per Airstream. That's an Airstream rule. We have no control over that. I would rather just be able to put the price out there that we can sell it at and we're willing to take it for, and get all of the Airstreamers to come in and buy all of our Airstreams. That's how I'd like to be able to do it. Now, your second year, you know, say you have a previous model year that's still on the lot, still new, there's no map on that, so they can advertise that for whatever price they want to. So that's just something to know. That's why you never see me mention prices in these videos, because I can't give you a real sales price. I can only give you MSRP, and we're not going to sell this to you at MSRP. We're going to give you a discounted price off of MSRP. So if you're looking for a real price, you know, you can call me, you can call the store. Now I will tell you what MSRP is for this unit, for this 30-foot Flying Cloud. So this is going to have the convection microwave, has the window awning option, and has the solar with lithium batteries. So that package is going to be an MSRP of $135,325. Now at our store, if you come to our store, I'm going to show the back of it. If you come to our store, there's generally going to be a price card. Now on the other side of this price card that you can't see, it's going to be the pricing for Airstream, for our Airstream, and there will be a discounted price on there, depending on how old it is, how long we've had it, what the floor plan is. All kinds of factors go into what our discount is going to be initially, right, for our everyday asking, everyday low price. That's already in every camper. If you come to our lot on a Saturday, the doors are going to be open. You are free to walk through. So that is enough about that. Let me get everything shut back up real quick. I'm going to switch the camera back around. Do we get this put back up? Lots of room. I mean, it's just a huge storage area, same as here. And then of course you got the whole dinette here that's open. And then the last thing I need to show you for the kitchen area is going to be the refrigerator. So on the 30 foots, all of the 30 foots are going to have this Norcold 12-volt fridge. It is going to be the 10 cubic foot fridge. If you step down to the 27, the 28, or the 25, those are all going to be the 8, I think, 0.1 cubic foot. But for the 30 foot, all of the 30s are going to have this really nice 12 volt 10 cubic foot refrigerator. Of course, there's the little drawers that pull out down here. It's nice. You've got 3 adjustable shelves right there. That comes standard from the factory. And then below this is going to be your power distribution panel. We'll have all our breakers. Of course, this is going to be 50 amp because it does come standard with 2 ACs, and then all your fuses are going to be right there. And this does have that technology to where if it detects a fuse blown, a little red LED will turn on and actually shows through that little window that's right here, and you can see that and know immediately that there is a blown fuse. Continuing kind of to the middle of the 30 Flying Cloud, of course we are going to have the curtains that come across. Now this is pretty standard for all the Flying Clouds, this color here. You do have 2 color options for the Flying Cloud, but the only thing that's going to change is the cushion color. So you got Seattle Mist, which tends to be the top seller right now because it gives you a good contrast. The other option is going to be the Carolina Clay, which is nothing like Carolina Clay. It's kind of more of a cream off-white, more cream than off-white color. We'll throw up, you know, 2 side by sides there so you can see that. Now with the 30 foot, you are going to have the double wardrobe, with 2 lights, 1 for each side. We've got great storage below right there. Let me make sure I give you a good shot of this. And of course you got your hanging bar that goes across, and then there's a whole lot of storage above. And a lot of times with the Airstream, you've got to think about storage not just deep, like going back, but how high you can go, and then think of ways to be able to stack things and be able to get to them, and that will, in a lot of cases, double your storage. Now, on the opposing side, we're going to have a really nice, large bathroom with a mirror right here on the door. Now, this is one of the larger bathrooms for Airstreams, outside of, like, you know, the 30-foot Classic and the 23 front bed in the Flying Cloud. But this bathroom is legitimately just massive. Right there, just kind of giving you a good shot. Now, something that I've seen, and if you guys watch YouTube like I do, you've seen this already, but you can fit a pretty nice sized mirror right here. And that is something I really think Airstream should go to. Get rid of this or put this right here, but give us a big mirror right there. But you do have this smaller mirror that you can move around. It has the magnifier on the back. Up here, you're going to have a shelf that goes all the way across, which is how your 30 RBs are going to be. 27s will have another mirror there with a door. We do have is that Fantastic Fan? I think Fantastic Fan makes that. But this opens, and there is a fan in there to pull out. Oh, the AC just turned off. To pull out any smells that you might have in here. There's also one over the shower area, which I'll show in a second. And then you've got a pull-down shade But you also have a port window in here, which I do love. We don't always get windows in bathrooms with Airstream. I love that this has the port window. There's power right there. You've got the control for your tankless hot water heater. Remember, set this to the temperature you want to take a shower at, and then just turn the hot water on. You don't want to mix that. It's not gonna. It doesn't work that way. We've got some great storage under the sink, right there. And I don't talk about plumbing as much with Airstream. I should probably talk about it more. But there is a flex tubing here, but it's the stainless steel tubing. That's nice to see. And something I've noticed, a lot of times there are shut-off valves at the sink, which is really nice to see on Airstreams. And then we'll have some additional storage right here, but we're going to also have a toilet paper holder, which is going to be right across from the toilet. It is a porcelain toilet, which is important. Some storage right there. And then this is going to open on both sides, so you've got storage on both sides to store everything that you might need in the bathroom while you're traveling. Put that closed. Alright, so, and then, now, let me just say, this is the best bathroom in the non-33 Classic. So I have an enormous amount of room, and I almost never close the door when I'm doing this kind of part of the video. Like, I never close the door. The only downside to this bathroom is that to get this door open, you've got to either, you know, kind of squeeze it around or do it before you sit down to get to the toilet paper. Other than that, this is 100% what I would call, and I got this from a customer, so I'm going to start using it. This is 100% Fluffy approved. You can be a big guy sitting here very comfortably with no problems at night. You know, in R25, a lot of times when I go to the bathroom, I just end up leaving the door open and then, you know, go to the bathroom and, you know, do my business and so forth. But that one right there, I can easily shut that door and still use that bathroom with the door shut. Now we're going to walk right across to our shower. This is different than the 25. So it's going to be, I don't know, it feels like it's the same width. I have to actually look at the specs for a 25, but it feels like it's the same width this way. It's the same depth. The difference is going to be down here in the wheel well. So with this one, let's see if I can get my feet in there. This right here, there's no curve right here. So you just have this little spot here for your feet to go. On the 25s and 27s, it's open right there, but there's a little seat right here. So that's just something that's a little bit different. There is a pretty good step up into the shower, just something to know about. And then we do have the shower head that you can move around, which I definitely like. And of course, we've got our spot for turning cold and hot. And then the little string that goes across for hanging light things, not heavy things. Light things will hang across. But good size shower. Now, here's what I'll say. I am definitely on the fluffy side. And I can take a shower in my 25, no problem. And actually, our last trip that we went on, I took a shower in the camper every day. Now, Laura decided to use the bathhouse because the campground we were at had a nice bathhouse. And she just went to the bathhouse and could take a long shower. And a lot of times I'll do that myself too, but I wanted to kind of force myself to use our shower to really get, you know, just to use it, like to know what it's like. And I had no problem taking it. The only thing I wish they would do is make the shower seat a shelf so my feet could fit under it. That's the only thing I would wish. And I'm going to tell Airstream that at some point. So now we're moving into the bedroom. So this is the queen bed option. You can also do a twin bed. So that is just an option. There's no price increase or decrease for picking either the twin bed or the queen bed. You have two good locker storage units up there, just like what we had on the front side. Now with this being a queen bed, you're gonna have some really great inside storage. Now on the twin bed, of course your twins are gonna be over on each side. You're gonna split that storage when you do a twin bed. It's half inside and half roughly outside. With the queen bed, you do have a good amount of outside storage right there. I'll show you that when we're outside. But you have this enormous locker area, storage area underneath. There is a door out front so you can get inside right there. Of course, we've got the little black container. And then on this side, on the sides, you've got a big storage area here, but then you also get these totes, which do pull out from the side. So you can access all of this from the side as well. And then there's actually a little bit of storage in there. I'll ever talk about that. One thing I do like to point out, you've got your solid light Italian plywood here. Even in the bin, you're going to have a molded or bent plywood there. And then we have plywood decking for the bed itself, and we're also got 2 struts to help hold the bed up when you are utilizing the coach. All right, and now as far as the queen bed goes, we're gonna have nightstands on both sides, so one there and one right here, and there's storage underneath both of those, right there. And right here, we also have power and USB charging, both types A and type C on both sides as well, like that. It's a great storage. Now, if you do the twin bed option, you're gonna have a centered nightstand that you share, so it'd be a shared center nightstand. And of course, this is the queen bed. So let me switch around and jump on the queen bed. All right, so I got the camera flipped around. I'm gonna lay down. So from a queen bed versus twin bed, and I do have a video where I talk about queen bed versus twin bed. I'll link it above, and my thoughts on it. And I'll initially say I love the twin bed. I like the extra outside storage you get, and this is a great size bed. Like, plenty of room here to sleep. And you're going camping, you know. Now, I'm used to sleeping on a king bed at home, and that's something that Laura and I value. We also have a 70-pound lab, and she likes to sleep in the beds with us. And our viewpoint on the bed, let me flip this back around, is that if we try to do the queen bed, Rosie's going to also try to sleep up there with us. But with the twin bed, she's got a nice aisle to lay in the middle. The other nice thing about the twin bed is you have the aisle in the middle to get ready, and really makes it a room that you can use. But this one, because it's the 30, you do have good room to go around each side. So that's something to me that is why I'm a proponent for the twin bed. But it's really the 25 foot and the 23 foot where I feel like it's almost a must. But on the 28, the 27, I should say 27, 28, and the 30, it's really not. Like, you can get away with the queen bed. You've got plenty of room to go around the sides here to get up at night and go to the bathroom. And that's a big part of why you might want to think through the queen bed versus the twin bed. And then, of course, we do have the second AC that's going to be in here. Now, these do have a MERV 8 filter in them now. A couple of screws you pull out and you can replace that filter, which is super nice. That started in 2024. I say because I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say about this camper? It just so happens that we just got a 30-foot Flying Cloud twin bed model in for a customer. That this one's sold. It's being prepped to go to its new home, but I did want to pop in just to show you the twin bed option versus the queen bed. So let me flip the camera around and we are going to walk over to the twin bed. So I was showing you the queen bed just then. Now take a look at the twin bed. So this is an option. There's no cost. You know, it's a wash as far as whether you pick the twin bed or the queen bed. But on the twin bed, you're going to have a single nightstand for both. And you've got the twin beds here, twin bed there. So these are going to be 80 inches long. So you're going to get about 5 inches more length on the twin bed versus the queen bed. Now your storage on the inside is going to be down here, right there. And then we're going to have similar on the other side, right there. And then we've got the single pull out for the nightstand there. We do have the single power port right there in the back, but there's also USBs right around on each side. Now, something else we're going to get, of course, we do have the TV in here just like in the queen bed. We've got a TV, but we're also going to get these extra wardrobes that have the shelves that can come out. So we get one on each side of the twin bed. This is something I really do like. Now, on the 25 Flying Cloud, you're going to get an extra locker up here. We don't get that on the 30. We get 2 lockers, or 2 wardrobes on each side. We do still have the lockers up front here. So you do still have that, which is great. And then you got the storage underneath. So that is the twin bed 30 RB. So this will be the 2024 Flying Cloud 30 RB twin. And then we do get that extra storage on the outside. So you're gonna have this compartment. You're also gonna have the rear compartment, a little bit shallower. It's not gonna be quite as deep as the queen bed. And then we get one more compartment on the campsite side. And this one goes back pretty far, as you can see in there. Goes back pretty far, so you get basically 2 more compartments on the outside, plus you still have the compartment that's up front on the twin bed model. I think I've covered pretty much everything on the inside. Just a couple of things I'll mention. I'll go forward a little bit or back. There is a really nice skylight here. I closed that because when you're competing with the inside warm color versus the outside blue color, it messes with the camera. You also have a really large, and you can see that light issue I was talking about right there. Really large skylight here in the kitchen area. And there's also a fantastic fan that now has, so this is the Max Air fan. That's an upgrade for, let me show you, 2024. They went away from the Dinette. We were having all kinds of issues with the Dinette. And so they're now at the Max Air. Let me show that right there. And it does have the rain sensor, which is quite nice. And there is the little hooks up there already. So you can add, you know, the cover. But what we're finding is they don't currently make a cover big enough to like do this one. So we're not sure. I'm assuming they probably have made a you know, cover. We just haven't figured out the part, or they haven't started shipping it. I did mention 12-volt TVs. Those are going to be smart TVs now, and I can tell you, it's Chad tested and approved. You can use YouTube TV on it, which is what we prefer. Laura and I prefer, and it is available for that, as well as, you know, Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu. All of that stuff is on there. Now, it's WebOS Hub, whatever that is called. This is not going to be as easy to use as like a TRL, I think TRL, whatever that brand is, that has like the Roku already on it. It's not going to be as easy as, say, an Apple TV. It is a little bit odd, the software, but it does work, and you can put YouTube TV on it. Matter of fact, that TV has YouTube TV on it currently because I tested it to make sure it would work. I think I've covered everything that's on the inside. You do have hooks right there as you come in. We do have more power right there where your exhaust is for your furnace. Your ACs are going to be a 15,000 BTU in the main, a 13.5 over the bedroom area. Both of those will have heat pumps, and you have the furnace below. You can oddly run the heat pump and the furnace at the same time if you want to do that. The vent right here does go vent to the outside, and of course there is a light right there so you can see when you're cooking. And it is a really nice large vent intake, which I like, and it works really well. We like it in our 2020 25-foot Flying Cloud. We do like it a lot. Now, the GE AC unit is new for 2024. I have a whole video just talking about that unit in itself. Control is there. It will show you inside temp. You just have to kind of let it sit for a second, and then it's very simple to use. You basically just click mode to turn on AC, you know, cool, heat pump. So it basically says cool, heat pump, and then furnace, or both, and then furnace. You can set the fan to auto, or you can turn the fan on low or high, and then you just press these buttons to set your temperature. That's it. There's really nothing else to do with it. You're going to have a separate thermostat. So this is going to be the front area, and then there's a whole nother thermostat to the back area. Now, I definitely have seen folks who, you can see there's 75 in here. This is actually set to 68 or 69. I have had, you know, comments about the Dometic being better, the control being better because you had the zone 1 and zone 2. I felt like having to try to explain. I actually just did it. I had a customer just pick up a Globetrotter. Now they have Coleman in theirs, but it has a very similar kind of control panel where you've got to pick zone 1 and zone 2. And their first night they were having trouble figuring out zone 1 and zone 2. And I know for a lot of you they're going to be like, that's not hard, but not everybody picks up on that stuff as easy, especially when it comes to electronics. And I think the GE is much easier to use because it's just simple. It's either on or it's off. The fan's either auto or it's on, and you just set the temperature. The units are actually larger, so if you look at the unit up there, it's a bigger footprint than the Dometics were. That's everything that I think there is to talk about for the inside of the 30-foot Flying Cloud rear bed. So let's go to the outside, do a walk around the outside, and we'll take a look at the top, and of course we'll look underneath as well. before we start the outside walk, I want to just say, and I probably should say this more, I don't always think about it, but you can buy your Airstream from me, and I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you get the correct unit, the right unit at the best price for you and your family. So feel free to give me a call. My contact information is there down in the description. Now, the other thing is, we have 10 Airstream stores that we own across the country, and I can work with those stores. So if you are interested and you're like, man, I would love to work with you, but I'm in Texas. Well, that's fine. I've got a store in Texas. I can get everything set up there for you to be able to pick up and take your unit from there. Same thing, we've got a store in San Diego and California, so I can do that. New York, Florida, South Carolina, and of course here in North Carolina. We are the only 5-rivet dealer here in North Carolina currently. So if you're in the market for an Airstream, do yourself a favor. I kind of feel weird saying that, but give me a call and or come by and work with our team here at Greensboro, and we'll definitely take care of you. Now, starting with the outside walk around of the 30-foot, and one of the things, oh, let me get my camera all the way around, that I love about the 30-foot Flying Cloud is the fact that you get one of the longest Zipty manual awnings available from Airstream. So it's going to go basically from front end cap to rear end cap for the awning. It's just massive. And one of the things I do like about Airstream, and I think is a positive for them, they always give you the largest awning that they can possibly give you based on that unit. Now this one's going to have the helper arm in the middle, but I do have a video on how to deploy and put away the Flying Cloud manual awning, and I'll link that above so you can take a look for that. Now this one did come from the factory, as I mentioned, with the lithium batteries. They're going to be housed, which is locked, which is great that they put locks. Now I feel like that's a 24 option, but I've seen a lot of 2024s without the key, so I'm not sure if they're going to that, and they've still got to use up some of the non-locked versions of it. But you're going to have 2 battle-borne batteries. Again, this has the 2,000 watt inverter as well. Now right here in this area, we're going to have the solar connection, so you can use like a suitcase style solar panel and connect it into there. And then that's going to be the arm for your spare tire that will drop down. Coming around to this side, we're going to have our LP quick disconnect right there, and then the other side, every cable for the battery box. And then we also have the power ton jack. We're going to have the Demco hitching system, which I really like. Super easy to use, works really well. It's just really good. And then under this cover here, we're going to have 2 30-pound propane tanks that, yes, do connect to that quick disconnect. And then Airstream likes to keep the LP hose outside the camper as much as possible, just for if you do get a leak, it's not inside the coach. And then when they need to turn up, that's when they're going to turn up and go into the coach. And you can see your spare tire right there, and it's fairly simple. It just kind of drops down, and then we'll slide out. Of course, the VIN number is right there. If you end up buying this 30RB, you'll know that this was your camper. And then we do have the heavy duty stabilizers right there that are manual. And of course you can see the aluminum underbelly, because it is a full aluminum wrap, which is one of the things that makes Airstream unique. Now we're going to have the stainless steel rock guards. You do want to make sure in your kind of pre-trip inspections that these are nice and tight so they don't pull off. You can have that swing out, and that will definitely cause some unfortunate damage. Same thing with your solar guards. There's a little quarter turn in here to be able to open this and clean the windows behind it, but this can swing out and actually dent the side over here if you're not careful. So you want to make sure you're careful with that. Make sure that's all good, attached and locked up. Now the center one does open, and that's the only one that you need to open when you want to open the inside window. That window opens, but you need to open the solar guard to be able to open that. Now, in this one being the rear bed, your sofa is actually right there. On a lot of the floor plans, that's going to be the bedroom, and folks don't really use that window a whole lot because, well, it's the bedroom. Now, moving down the side, of course, we're going to have the Airstream aluminum steps. Now, the door, I always try to talk about the door because it takes them about 8 hours to build this door. They do build the door to match so the screen door matches the door itself. There's also a new latch here for the screen door started in 2024. I really like this one. Not sure if you can upgrade it if you got a current model. I'm assuming you probably could, but it will slide right in, locks there, and then of course it goes right there. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that this little piece here that sticks out to latch it is pulled back all the way. Otherwise, the screen door is going to try to stay when you open the door. And this one's got the old school handle on it. They have upgraded for the 24.5s to the new handle that's on the trade winds, which is quite nice. And then of course, you need to come out to an Airstream store and close one of those doors and just hear that thud. That is the sound of quality. Now on this side, we are going to have the 2 port windows. That's going to be where the sink is, because the kitchen's right there. We also have some power, so you can plug things in outside. That's not on the inverter circuit, so you'll need you'll need to have this plugged into shore power for it to work. And that's going to be the furnace right there beside that power. And then looking underneath again, get the camera going. There's that LP line going down. That's all the way towards the front there. And you see that manual stabilizer. Then we're going to look back towards the tanks and your 2 Dexter axles. Now these are Dexter torsion axles, torsion flex. So they're going to be truly independent. All 4 tires are independent of all the other tires, which will allow that one to kind of go up and down based on the bumps that it's going over top of, separate from the other side, which helps to keep that racking back and forth that you get with a lot of traditional campers. The other thing, this is going to have the dampers on it, so it's going to really help the trailer settle down once you go over, say, a bridge, a speed bump, whatever it might be. Now, the max tire pressure on these Goodyear Endurance tires is going to be 80 psi. Now 80 psi is for max load. Generally, you can see it right there. Generally, you're going to want to be around 65 psi to 70 for what these campers weigh. I think the standard tire on like the Flying Cloud 25 foot, those 4 tires could hold 11,000 pounds at the 80 psi. So you can actually download a chart from Goodyear and just basically Google the Goodyear Endurance payload chart, and it will tell you exactly what you need to set your PSI to for the weight of your trailer when it's loaded. And you can see the dampers there. You're also going to have on all your Flying Clouds the never or no maintenance, never lube bearings. So pretty much run this, just check your tire pressure, make sure you got your lugs tightened to 110 foot-pounds of pressure, and that's it. You don't have to do any packing bearings, anything like that throughout the year. You just use them. And then we've got our potable water fill. It's going to be right there behind that door. And we do have the kitchen vent. Little motorcycle just drove by. We do have the kitchen vent right there, and that does actually exhaust outside, which is super nice. And we've got 2 windows here. You got a port window, and then the window above does open, so you can get some nice air flowing through the bedroom area, because again, this is a rear bed. And then moving around back, another motorcycle coming back in. We're going to have the standard backup camera. That is a separate monitor. It's not something that you can connect to say your truck if it has that type of camera system built into the truck. That's going to work with its own monitor that's wireless that you'll need to plug into the camper. And it does only work off your running lights. So it's actually connected to those 3 little running lights there. So you need to have your lights actually turned to on, not set to auto, but on during the day. Otherwise the camera is not going to work. A lot of noise out here today. Now this center window does open. And of course this has the awning package. So that is an option from Airstream. And then you're going to have your main outside storage right here in this back area. And good size storage. I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in there. And since this is off the back, being that it's a rear bed, that is super easy to access and get into. But you're also potentially adding a lot of weight to the back of the camper. Remember, you always want to keep 10% of your overall weight to the front of the camper for towing. And then underneath there, we're going to have our standard bumper storage that we get with all the Flying Clouds. Great for storing things like hoses, leveling systems, your chalks, that type of stuff. I put an extra sewer hose in mine. That's a great spot for that. That is going to be wet storage. So anything you put in there is going to get wet. And of course, we have all LED lights on the outside. All your marker lights, your brake lights, all of those are going to be LED lights, as well as that one right there. And then one thing that's unique to the 30, that center light here in the center of the camper is actually a turn signal, which is really nice. I would really like to see Airstream add that turn signal light to every Airstream, not just the 30s, but only the 30s. That one is your turn signal when you're turning. So when you put that left on, that one's going to blink along with the back lights. Now we're on the campsite side here. We've got the window awning package again. It does split, so you've got a separate one back there, and then you've got one up here, kind of that front section there. Now the window awning package, it is going to provide a few degrees of shade when the sun is out and beating on the side of this coach. So that's why you might want to have that deployed. This is going to help keep some of that solar heat from getting inside the coach on the side. Now you do have a baked on white enamel coating on the roof. That's also going to help keep heat from getting through the top down. So that'll be something, you know, you'll see that when I show you up top. Now we're going to have our dump system here on the back side. So we've got your gray and black tank and the connection in between. And again, always pull the black first and then the gray. And then just to kind of give you a shot here in the back, you can see all of the tanks. They are enclosed in aluminum. That's going to be your storage for your sewer hose right there. And then your black and gray tanks. That freshwater tank is actually going to be in between your two axles. That's where they generally put that. Now we do have an outside shower, hot and cold water there. You've got your black tank flush here. Remember to always use that. If you don't, you'll lose it. And then you've got your city fill. This is going to go straight to your faucets. This also already has a pressure regulator built in, so you do not need to add a pressure regulator. In fact, if you do add one, it will prevent enough flow to that Girard tankless hot water heater, and the hot water heater won't actually kick on. So you don't need to use anything on that. If anything, you can use a gauge just to make sure you're not going to kill it. Now we do have the smart plug for power. You're going to get significantly more. I think it's 20% more metal to metal contact with this system. It's also extremely easy to unplug and plug in. You just squeeze these little latches here and it comes right out. And then above that is going to be your smart plug with your coaxial input and your Cat 6 input there, which goes up to the front where I showed you earlier. And then we've got our tankless hot water heater. There is a switch out here. That switch is basically your winterization switch. It turns the power off from this completely, so it will not run when you're, say you're winterizing it. You don't want that to turn on and run fluid through it. You do need to run fluid through that, your winterization fluid. So that is something that you want to do when you winterize it. But of course, consult your manuals when you're doing your winterization. Now, backing up again, we're going to have these three windows here that open, and those are the Airstream windows that open almost 90 degrees. And then that window back there in the bedroom also opens. So you have three total windows in the back that open, and then four windows here in the front. And of course you have that port window there, and then one single port window coming down. Most of the Airstreams out there will actually have two of those kind of upward port windows that are way up here. Most of them have two. This one's only got the one, because you've got some cabinetry right here preventing them from putting another one in. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab a ladder and we'll climb up top and we'll take a look at the roof. And everybody likes to see the tops of these Airstreams. We're up top of the 30-foot Flying Cloud, just in case you forgot. And I mean, there's a ton of room up here, but I wanted to just give you a whole view of the roof up here. Now this does have the new front end cap and the new roof line. I have a whole video just talking about that. It's a huge update for 2024 on all Flying Clouds, and this is a 30-foot. So I should mention, at least here while I'm here, let me turn the camera around. So I'm up on a ladder, so forgive me if I look funny. So there is a new front cap with this new design. There's a whole new rib system. Airstream has told us at the factory they have included new support up front that should help prevent front end separation. I have not seen it. I haven't witnessed it. I'm not, I don't have anything like that first-hand visual or anything like that. But my rep at Airstream has told me they have added for 2024 the supports for both the front and the rear as part of this new front cap design. as well as the new inner rib design. They're now automotive stamped ribs. So if you're buying a 30-foot, you should be less concerned about the front end separation. There's more to it just in the structure and things like that. There's a lot of factors in that. At some point I'm going to do a video, so make sure you're subscribed so you can see that video when it pops up. But I just wanted to mention that all the 2024s, all the lines have a new front end and rear cap, front end cap and rear cap, and they also now have more support like along the front, especially when you got that door to help with the front end connection, making sure it's good and strong. Now flipping you back around, we're going to have that max air fan there. You can see the little lips sticking up. So at some point we should be able to easily put a top on that if you want to have it where you can open it in the rain. We've got your HD antenna that will glow red when it's on. So if you're outside at night and look up and see something red and you're like, what is that? It is the HD antenna. You can just turn off that power on the inside of that front compartment that I showed you earlier. You've got your big sunlight there in the kitchen area, and then we've got our little combiner there for the solar. See if you can see that. That's right in that area in between these skylight, and then your first GE profile AC. So this is the profile. There's a couple of versions now for the GE air conditioners. This is the profile, so it's the bigger one. It's going to be, you know, wider, longer, but shorter, so it won't be as tall. And then we've got 2 of our 3 Marlin solar panels right here, and you could easily add a few more up here. And if you rearrange these, we could probably get even more. Now let me move towards the back so you can see the back area and then just kind of see the full picture there. We're on the back side, same side as we were on the front, so you can see those 2 panels there. Now we've got one of our exhausts for the plumbing system. That's going to be one of your vents, max fan, that is max fan, vents for the shower, and then the bathroom is going to be on the other side there. We've got the very large skylight. Man, why do I miss that? The very large skylight right there, kind of in the middle. That's going to be in between the 2, the bathroom and the shower. And then you've got the very large GE profile AC system right there. And if you haven't watched my video that talks about the roof, I'll link that above. That's definitely a good video to watch that talks about the new roof line, front end caps and rear end caps and things like that. Let me pop over to the other side so you can see everything that's on that side as well. So this will be the road side, as we like to call it, of the roof. You can see the front ACs right there. Got a lot of room. You can easily put another solar panel there if you really wanted to. Now there's only 3 inputs, so you would have to parallel a panel if you wanted to add one, but you could do it. And then kind of coming back towards the back, we've got some more of your shower vent, your sewer system vent right there. And then you've got a channel right here that blocks that water and tries to send it to one way or the other, which is kind of nice to have if you have any water come from the top. Now these do have the hoses that are connected to them, so they're going to come down and drain out the bottom. But that will let you see if you have any water. If you're running the heat pumps, sometimes those will actually create more water than the little pump can use to come down, so you'll have some water drip out. But that's going to help guide that to the end instead of letting it come straight off. If you've made it to this point of the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. I really do appreciate everyone who has subscribed and liked and left comments. I also want to say, if you found value in this video, if you would just click that subscribe button, click the like button. Also, if you have questions about this Flying Cloud or really any of the Airstream travel trailers or touring coaches, or if you're in the market for an Airstream travel trailer or touring coach, be sure to give me a call. My contact information is down there in the description, and I will do my best to give you the best customer service possible. We are a 5-rivet dealer here at Airstream at Greensboro. Now, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're living riveted and you're streaming somewhere this summer. Otherwise, we'll talk soon. Have a great day. Bye.